What if the largest empire in human history was built on a single, bad investment? What if the conquest of a continent wasn't a military victory, but a corporate takeover funded by the very people it would soon destroy? Forget what you learned about glorious battles and noble kings. The British Empire in India was born from the ledger book of a banker who made one fatal miscalculation. This isn't a story about the British. Not really. This is a story about the Jagat Seths, the bankers of the world. In the 1700s, they weren't just in the economy. They were the economy. While the Mughal Empire crumbled, their financial empire soared. They controlled treasuries. They financed emperors. They held the fate of armies in their gold-plated fists. And the British East India Company? They were just a noisy, struggling startup. A handful of merchants begging for trading posts. But in the game of power, there are no permanent friends. Only permanent interests. The new Nawab of Bengal, Siraj ud-daulah, was a problem. He was young, arrogant, and he threatened the one thing the Seths truly cared about, their bottom line. He threatened their monopoly. He threatened their wealth. And when you threaten the most powerful bankers in the world, they don't protest. They don't negotiate. They replace you. The Seths decided to short the Nawab. They looked for a new CEO for Bengal. And they found their tool. A ruthless, ambitious company man named Robert Clive. A deal was struck in the shadows. This wasn't politics, it was risk management. The Seths funded Clive's tiny army. But more importantly, they bought the enemy's general. The Battle of Plassey in 1757 wasn't a battle. It was a transaction. An entire army of 50,000 men, paid off by the Jagat Seths, stood down and watched as 3,000 men under Clive conquered the richest province in the world. The Seths had won. They had protected their assets. They had installed their puppet, or so they thought. Here is the fatal miscalculation. The Jagat Seths thought they had hired a security guard. They had, in fact, invited a vampire into their home. They showed the East India Company that true power didn't come from a bloodline. It came from the treasury. And the company learned the lesson too well. Why borrow from the bank when you can own the bank? Why ask for favors when you can collect the taxes? With the unlimited wealth of Bengal now at its command, the EIC funded its own private army. It no longer needed the Jagat Seths. The monster they had financed now turned on them. The bankers who had funded the conquest became the first victims of the new regime. Their short-term business decision had accidentally birthed a colonial empire that would bleed their continent dry for 200 years. They didn't just lose their investment. They lost their world. They are the ultimate warning in history: never, ever, underestimate the greed of the partner you invite into your home. And never believe you can control the monster you choose to feed.